Hello. I'm gonna wait for just a minute for you guys to hop on. And while we're waiting, today is a very special and honorable day here in the United States. Today is Veterans Day. So happy veterans to all of you who have served in our military. Thank you so very much. I feel like there's so much sacrifice that goes into serving, not only for those that serve in the military, but for their family members as well. And throughout history, there's been so many sacrifices that have been made from our service members and their family members. So thank you. We also, in my family, celebrate my grandpa's birthday today. My grandpa was a lieutenant commander in the Navy during World War II. And he was a really cool guy. And he served our country, and he was actually a pilot. So he flew planes onto aircraft carriers, and he also was a Top Gun pilot instructor, so he trained other pilots as well. And I love to hear his stories. He's passed on now, and I honor him and other family members that have served as well. So I was going to do a different project with you guys today, and then I thought, what am I doing? I have a live on a day that we should do something to honor that day and the veterans. So I am going to, my dog is clawing at the ground right now. Can you guys hear that? All right, I'm going to be designing some military style purses, and I thought it would be kind of fun to show you. Now, this one has, I might have to put him out. He's super loud. This one, I put a little bit of paint on it, just roughly, just to give us a base coat. And so I can show you, and we can do a little bit more. And then I pulled out another purse as well that I haven't done anything to yet. But this color is really awesome, and it's really soft. This purse in particular, this leather here, is super soft and really nice. So I wanted to show you both of these. And I don't have an exact plan of what I'm going to do. I just know that I want it to be a Veterans Day inspired purse. Now also with this, I am going to give this purse away when I'm all finished with it. So I will be posting that on my page. I just ask that it be given to someone who is either serving, who has served, or a family member of someone who has served or is serving now. So I will post that when it's all finished. And then if you guys would like to have this or give this to someone who is in that position, that would be special to me to be able to do something today. Okay, so here's what I have out. The colors I have put roughly on this. This is called Spanish Olive. These are from Wise-Owl. And this is just a little bit of the white chalk paste from Redesign with Prima. I put a little bit down because I'm going to put a transfer here, and so I want the whites of the transfer to really pop as I place it down. And you can see it's super rough. I mean, I even got a little on that part. It didn't have to be perfect for what we're doing today. Sometimes I do like really crisp, clean lines. Right now, it's not going to matter, okay? So just roughly paint. And this, I'm not digging the strap on this, okay? So let's get rid of it before we start painting. Let's see if we can cut this one off as easily. Now these straps are great, but I wanted to show you something fun. You can use belts for your straps, okay? So you can find cool leather belts. Sometimes at the thrift store, you can find really nice, genuine, soft leather belts, and you can hook them right onto the ends of your purse and use that for your strap. These ones are really great too, the cloth ones. So I can just get a hook it right to this metal part, and then hook it on the other side, and boom, I have a really cool strap for my purse now. and it's really soft and it's gonna feel comfortable wearing it. You can look at all different sizes, like if you want one that goes over the shoulder, or if you want one like this. If you want a shorter handle, you could cut and make 2 small handles. So keep that in mind. If you want a different strap, it's super easy. Clip it off, grab yourself some belts, and you just need a 2-way clip. Even a carabiner would work, and you can clip it on, and then you're done. So I grabbed a bunch of them from the thrift store. I'll just show you the different styles. Here's one. I thought that would be really cute as a strap on a purse. This one's fun. It's more colorful, but I thought that would be kind of fun as a strap. Oh, you can even find name brand ones. Like this one is from Nautica, but it has a really cute leather and a thread around it with the gold handles. And I thought that would be really cute as a purse strap. So kind of think outside the box and change something small, and you might really love it. You might really love the way that it looks, okay? Another thing that's fun, especially for this purse, since it's a military inspired purse, is some places will have like military surplus stores, and you can go and get zippers, old zippers, boot straps, tons of things from the military supply stores, and then you can add them to your purse. So this would be, I mean, here's like a little clip, okay? This would be super cool to add on, and then it's like you can hook your keys onto it or whatever. This one, look for ones that some of them have like letters or, oh, sorry, that's bright. Let's see if we can fix that. There we go. There we go. You can see the letters on it. So something like this, and then I could glue it kind of like down the middle of my purse and paint around the edges. So think about that. Whatever you're going for, maybe you want to do a purse from someone you loved and someone you remembered, and you have something of theirs, and you can add it to the purse. So you are not only redesigning it, but you're adding something a little special into it too. Okay, so kind of think outside the box on that. Now, first we're gonna add our transfer on, and then we're gonna add some paint onto this purse and really kind of up the game, okay? So I have some transfers from Redesign with Prima, of course. Also, these purses that I'm showing you are also from Redesign with Prima. This would be really fun to have like a purse party. Even if you can't do it in person, have a virtual purse party and paint with your friends. So I have a couple that I thought of using. This one both have the American flag on them. So I thought I would kind of see how this one fits, but I thought this would be really nice for Veterans Day. And this one is just part of the American flag transfer. It's a really large transfer, but I've already used the top half of it. So I have this bottom half, and I can keep using parts of it and do something really cool with. So I brought both of them out. They are the American, let's see. The big flag one is the America transfer. And then I think the other one's called American flag, but I will double check on that. I didn't have the tube, so I will check. But if one of you that are watching, if you can just drop that in the comments, say, hey, tell us what that transfer is. Then when we're all finished, I can double check it and I can add that for you. Because sometimes I get going and I forget. Like when you have a creative brain, you just kind of skip around sometimes. So if you guys can help me, that would be fantastic. Okay, so let's kind of look at this one and see how this fits. I just want to put it on this area here with our rough white undertone. So I'm going to kind of hold it up and see. Yeah, I think we can get part of the flag on there, and I think that will look really cool, especially with the blue in the background. So I'm just going to roughly measure and then roughly cut, so I can see about where I want to place it. Now, on the newer transfers, they have a grid system. So this would be easy to measure my space on my purse and then measure the grid, and then I know exactly where to cut. On the older transfers, they don't have that. So it's you kind of just have to decide how you want to place it. Let's see. Okay. And I would go this way, but you can't hang the flag. When the flag hangs vertical, the stars go on this side. They always hang on this side. So when the flag's like this, it's up in the top. When the flag's like this, it needs to hang over here. And that may look backwards to you guys. But whenever you're hanging a flag vertical, that's something to pay attention to, as I have learned. Okay, so we'll just kind of roughly cut it over here so I can see better. And for those of you watching, here's another question. So that when I first got on, I talked about my grandpa as a veteran and my father-in-law, my grandma was a veteran and my grandpa on the other side was. So do you have people in your family that are veterans or that are currently serving in the military? And I realize that some of you are not in the United States, so it may be outside of the United States too. Okay, so we'll roughly kind of measure that out. Let's see. And you guys say hello as you come on and tell me where you're from too. I am out here in Salem, Utah. It's about an hour south of the capital, Salt Lake City. And it is cold today. It snowed. But, okay. All right, let's cut this down just a little bit more. And I can even take, I have a screwdriver here handy, so this is gonna be my tool. The purse has a little edge right here, okay? And I can't really see what I'm doing there, so I'm gonna line this edge up here, and then I'm going to press down my finger right where that edge is, and I can kind of take my screwdriver and kind of just press a little bit so I create a line or a crease, and then I can see where to cut. That's a very technical tip for you guys this morning, right? Sometimes you just do the best you can with what you have. My sister's husband and son were very cool. And my nephew is currently serving in the Marines. And I miss him. I haven't seen him for a little while. Okay. Let's cut the bottom off and then we'll measure our top right here and get pretty close. It doesn't have to be perfect because I can go and distress the transfer edges a little bit in case they're not really where I want them to be. We're just gonna go kind of right underneath the thread line. You can go over the thread line. I could take the transfer and go right up to the top of this if I want to. I just thought it would be fun to kind of leave this space in case I want to add something different and then just add it here. So this is what I have. This is what I've cut it down to, okay? And I have this and I have my, somewhere, I have my little wood burnishing tool. I just have to figure out where I put it. Like I said, I decided to switch projects about 5 minutes before I started because it's Veterans Day and I wanted to do something special. And so I kind of had to throw everything up here. And if I don't have one right here, I know I have another one. So let me grab it real quick. Hold tight. I think it's right in here. Okay, we got it. We're good. Hey Roz, how's it going? Okay, this is my fancy tool I was looking for. Okay. They're really easy to apply to the purse too, which I really love. And this is a tiny bit crooked, so I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. Let's see. There we go. Okay. And then we will apply it. If you have any things, like any patches, military patches, that would be really cool to add onto a purse like this. This would be a neat gift for someone who's serving, or maybe someone who has a family member serving that's not going to be around during the holidays. This would be a neat gift to give them. So So I'm just gonna roughly put it on there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and burnish it. And where it's got that, it's movable, you know, it's not stiff like a piece of furniture or wood that you'd apply it to. I'm going to kind of hold it down with my fingers and apply in a small section and then move across, just to make sure that it doesn't move on me, that it's sticking to the purse. Now the transfers stick really well to leather, which is super cool. They're really pretty easy to apply to them. I do seal my purses with Wisel furniture salve, but I seal the transfers first with a different spray, which I will show you. Once that's dried and probably a day, I probably let it sit for a day, then I go ahead and I apply Wisel furniture salve over the entire purse, and I seal the whole thing, including the part that I have sprayed the sealant on. The spray over the transfer is matte that I use, so you're not going to see if you get spray in other areas of the purse. It's not going to change the sheen to really shiny or anything like that, which is nice. And it just helps to protect it and make it more usable, durable, as you will be wearing a purse, and kind of, you know, especially this against your body will rub against the purse, or you obviously are going to be manipulating it and moving that leather around. So you just want a good seal on it, so the oils of your hands don't break down the transfer over time. Your hands get tired though. I think my hands are tired. I've been working on a really cool bedroom set, which I will probably share with you guys in a live soon. And so I've been doing a lot of transferring and stenciling and things like that. So they're tired. Okay, let's see how this is looking. I got two little, there we go. And I'll leave it just a little bit distressed. Okay. Cool, huh? So you can see how the white just makes our whites and the flag pop a little bit more instead of being over a really dark color. It's helpful. And then I'm just gonna go back over it and I'm gonna burnish it again, get in my seam really well and along my edge here where you can start to see some of the thread, which is really cool. Makes it look like it's part of the leather and not stuck on top of it. I mean, out of all the things Prima has released, this has got to be one of the coolest things. I love them. I think it's so fun. So many different styles, totally unique in your own. And it makes it special. I think that's really cool. Okay, so that is on there good. It's not gonna come off. All right, so we've got our flag right on there. That's really beautiful. And like I said, we have a really rough paint job. So let's make this look rad and blend it into this, okay? So for that, I am going to, and before, let me just show you this before I forget. This is the Krylon Matte Finish Spray. This is what I use to seal my transfers. I'll just spray it right over the transfer, let it dry, probably a day, and then I will use the, I like the Wisel furniture salve, and I will use this in my palm brush, and I will salve the whole thing and buff it in with a cloth, and then it seals everything in, and it makes it smell really nice, depending whatever scent you choose. And that's amazing. It works awesome on any leather, boots, shoes, wood. It's super cool, so it's great for these too, all right? Okay, so let's paint it. I just have a plate and I've got a couple colors out. This is the color that I used on the purse originally. It's Spanish Olive. These are all Wisel paint colors. It's kind of bright, you can see. So we're gonna tone it down. This is military bronze that I'm using. It's a really beautiful, kind of a green gray tone, a military green, really pretty. So I'm gonna use that on it. I have a squirt bottle with water in it. I've got some paper towels handy, which I'm gonna pull out a few because you will want them. Now I've just put a coat on just to kind of get it covered and mostly to save us time so we didn't have to wait for that to dry. And then I'm going to use some Klingon brushes. This is an F40. It's just a small Klingon brush. I love it. And then let's layer, okay? So I also am gonna grab some carbon out too. Carbon is kind of a charcoal, has like a little bit of blue navy undertones to it. And I'm gonna just grab a little bit of that carbon that we can use. I think that will look really awesome. Okay. All right, so let's see, here we go. And I think I'm just gonna kind of dry brush it. So I'm just taking my brush and tapping off the excess. You can see there's really not very much on it. And I'm just gonna kind of pull it over here at first. And this is just going to kind of give it a distressed leather feel. So if you're into distressed leather, you will probably like this. I'm not completely covering it. I'm just kind of letting that color hit wherever the leather rises, okay? And it's going to darken, and then you're going to start to see some depth between the brighter green and that darker military bronze. And I'm not worried about taping off my edges, and I'm not even worried if I go onto my flag a little bit there, because we are going to add some dimension to this, and we'll be going over it anyways. You can paint right over your transfer. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this. I feel like it's kind of darkening it up a little bit, makes it look a little bit distressed, leather almost a little bit aged, versus that bright. See the difference in that? All right, let's move over here. We'll just keep letting that other side dry. And because I'm dry brushing it, I'm not adding very much. It's gonna dry pretty quickly. So I'll be able to move on between my paint colors pretty smoothly and pretty quickly as well. Have any of you guys painted purses yet? They have a bunch of different styles as well that I love. I like this one because it's small, and I don't carry a purse, but when I do, I like it because it goes over the shoulder and it's light. I think I carried a diaper bag for so many years in a row that finally, when I didn't have to carry one anymore, I was just so happy that I kind of vetoed the whole purse thing. Okay, cool. All right, so now we've got some more depth in there. Let's get the bottom a little bit. And then we're gonna come in with our carbon. And we're gonna add some more shading. And I will even sometimes let the original color of the purse show through a little bit, especially on this one. Most of them are pretty neutral. This one has a little bit of tan. So I kind of don't mind if that shows through a little, but it's totally up to you, you know, whatever floats your boat. But I'll show you why I like that, especially on the front when we add in some more. Okay, so let's start back here, okay? So I told you it didn't really matter if I got excess paint on this brown because we're gonna paint it anyways. So I'm just taking my military bronze and my carbon, and I'm just kind of letting them mix a little bit on my plate. You can see, just right in the middle. And then I'm gonna go right over my brown. And I come up right up to the edge and let some brown show through, and then cover up other spots. And I'll lift it up so you guys can see it better in just a second. Now, when you apply your salve or whatever kind of sealer you prefer to use on it, it's gonna darken your colors a little bit. And it's going to make that pop. See how you can see the distressing of a little bit of that chocolatey brown underneath, and then the carbon will dry a little bit darker, and when I salve it, we'll have a little bit of a blue undertone, which will kind of pull from that. All right, so I'm just gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna dip my carbon and my military bronze together, and I'm going to just come right up here, and I'm gonna shade just a little bit more and give it a little bit more of that distressed feel, and leave parts with the green because you want that green to show through. That's why I typically choose a brighter undertone. I choose a brighter undertone so that it's more intense when it does peek through. Okay, and see I can kind of just shade that, make it look like it's even more meant to be original. You like it, Sharon? I think it's kind of fun for Veterans Day. So I said earlier on my post, or when I started this live, that I'm going to give this purse away. I want it to go to someone who is serving in the military, who has served in the military, or someone who has a family member, husband, brother, sister, parent, who is currently serving or has served. And I will do that giveaway on my page. And then I will send it to you. Or if you have someone that you want to give that's in that situation, if you want to give this to them, then you can do that as well. It's just my way of saying thank you. Okay. Yeah, this is looking really cool, huh? I really am liking that. Makes it look aged. This would be really fun to add. You can add some metallics into it too. When I'm all done, when this is all dry, I'm going to distress it. So I like to use Surf Prep brad pads to distress the purse with because they're flexible and they're not, you can get the fine ones, they're not super abrasive. And so they're gonna give you it kind of helps the paint to mesh into the leather as well a little bit better. I love it. Okay, let's do something cool to the front. I'm really, really liking this. So I have this little piece of fabric, like I said before. I can use that, or I can add one of the belts that I showed you. There was one that I had, this one. I think this is a polo belt, but that would be really cool to add down the front right here. These are just ones I got from the thrift store. Most of the time you can find them for $1. They're pretty cheap, sometimes less. Maybe you can find a bag of them for cheaper. So you'll have to look. All right, so let's just add some coloring here. And then I can paint the whole front, but since I'm probably gonna be adding some type of patch or material to the front, I'll probably won't paint just that center part where I'm gonna add that. That way, whatever material is that I have is gonna stick right directly to the leather and not have any type of barrier. You definitely want to apply anything that you're going to glue onto it before you apply any type of wax or salve to it so that it does not repel it. I've had leather patches with my business logo on that I've added to some purses, and that's really fun. So kind of, you know, think outside the box. Okay, let's see. On this part, I'm almost thinking maybe we should add some more of that one transfer right here, this one, with our stripes. So let's see how that's going to line up, and then we'll paint the bottom part of it. Let's see, this is really distressed. I kind of like the look of that part. So let's add that. We are about 4 stripes in. This is our American transfer. And the other transfer we used, I think, is called American flag. Roz, if you're still on, maybe you could check for me, because I couldn't find the bottle, but it was this transfer. This comes in a transfer and it has 4 pages and they are different. This one has the American flag flying. There's one with just an American flag, and I can't remember what the other ones were, but it's got some great transfers in it as well. Okay. I obviously cut that a little bit long, but look, doesn't that look cool even? That with our green, oh, it's so, so cool. Okay, let's cut it about here. And like I said, it's just rough cuts. I always like to cut off this top, the bleed line here, because then I can see better where I'm applying it. You don't have to though, it's preference. You'll kind of, as you go, you'll apply transfers and you'll kind of add them where you like the best. Okay, and I think I'm just gonna go all the way down that flap. So we'll just trim it and go right over the flap so I can show you that anyway. Now, on the back, I showed you I painted it white before I applied the transfer because I wanted that to pop. This one, I'm gonna leave it the dark brown because I think it will look cool. This already has some dark tones to it. I think it will look cool having the dark tones come through, especially where we have this color next to it. So I'm gonna leave it. And that is pretty close. Maybe it overlaps just a little. Trim it just a little bit more. Perfect, okay. And let's add this. Got paint all over my fingers, you guys. I don't remember a day where I didn't have paint all over my fingers, actually. Okay, and we'll just pull that zipper straight down. And actually, I'm going to pull the stuffing out of this purse. Because I think it'll make this part easier and more flat. Yes, okay, that is better. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Careful so I don't touch the back. And okay. So this has got an extra lot of give or movement here. So I'm going to not stick it to the whole thing. I'm just applying the top part. And I got paint on the end of my stick, so we're just gonna go like this. And then we'll slowly stick it to the bottom part where that tag comes up, where the zipper is. And if you do get some purses, I recommend getting a few because it's fun. It's fun to do with someone, and because you'll have an idea and you might try it and you might really like it or you might not totally love it. And so if you get a few purses, then you can kind of try out a different idea on the next one and, you know, go from there. They make really fun gifts. Or if you use purses and you know, kind of trade your purses often, then it might be fun for you to have different ones. You could totally make like a Disney themed purse. There's lots of different things you could do. So I like that this transfer is already kind of distressed looking. It's just gonna add to my purse, especially if I have areas that don't adhere 100%, or if I move the transfer and mess up while I'm applying it. Is there a reason I waited to apply the second transfer? The reason is because I wasn't going to add another one. But after I flipped over the purse and I saw how cool it looked on the other side, I decided that it would be fun to add one at the top here. So call it spontaneity. But no, there's no particular reason why you can add all of your transfers at once if you want to. Oh, and I did see I moved it a little right there. That's okay, I'll show you guys. I kind of like the way it looks anyway. Okay, see how I crackled it a little bit? That's okay. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna go over it one more time and just get it really applied well, especially under that flap. It's okay if it distresses a little bit. I kind of like that, especially now you can see that dark brown leather's coming through, which looks pretty cool. I like it with like a little crackle. Just kind of let it do its thing, you know? Let it be what it's gonna be. Yes, oh, I love this. Okay, so I'll show you one more time the difference between when I apply it over that dark brown, how dark my whites are, right? And then because I painted it white underneath before I applied it, how bright my whites are. So you can see the difference between applying white paint under versus just applying it straight to whatever color it is. All right, that kind of gives you an idea. Okay, and then the bottom part, let's paint a little. I'm gonna use carbon with my same brush I've been using. Just pull that up a little bit. It's fun because some of these purses have red, and so this underneath, I don't paint it and I leave it red. And when you pull it up, you can see like a red zipper and this red underneath, and it looks kind of cool. I like the way that looks, so I'm just gonna kind of, you don't need very much paint either. A little paint goes a long way. And I am just gonna kind of paint the whole thing. I know I said I wasn't gonna paint that middle, but I'm just gonna kind of let the paint go. If I'm adding a patch or fabric, it's still gonna stick over the paint just fine. But if you know for sure you're gonna cover most of it with that, then you don't need to paint under it. You can let that adhesion be right against the leather. You can paint right over your tag if you want, or leave it. I'm gonna actually cover it, so. Okay, so that's on there just really lightly. All right, so let me move on back here, and then I'm thinking this will dry. Or, you know what, instead of waiting to distress it, I can do that right now. So if you just have a paper towel, then I can go right over my freshly painted, and I can kind of just rub back a little. And kind of distress where I want to. So like right down the seam there, pull my paint back a little. Maybe the bottom. Okay, and then I'll let the rest dry, and then I can take my my rad pad and sand that, or if you have like 220 to 320 grit or finer sandpaper, then you can just kind of go over it with that sandpaper, and that will just help it to be really smooth. And if you got any little paint lines in there, maybe too thick, it will help to kind of knock those down, and it will make your purse feel like really nice and supple and soft. And then you can seal it up. Cool? All right, so I am going to keep going on this purse and add a strap and add something on the front. And then I will be posting this today on my page So if you go over to Apple Blossom Way on Facebook, then you can enter you or someone who has served, is serving, or has family members who have served or are serving now, and I will send this to you. All right. Hope you guys have a great day and do something cool outside of the box and go get your creative on. See ya.